Hello everyone, doing a review for XCOM, trying to get my thoughts, and I'm going to try not to ramble this time. I have a lot of thoughts about this game, and just trying to get them categorized into something that's cohesive. This is going to be done under two circumstances. One, I'm not playing multiplayer in this game. I have no interest in playing multiplayer in this game. And number two, this is from someone who, with a group of our followers, went and we played through the entire original XCOM. Superhuman difficulty on Iron Man. Took us 40 hours and exactly 1 year game time to do. Coincidentally, it's pretty much the same time we spent on this game. It's about 40 hours on Classic Iron Man. And just over a year, we spent a couple of times just waiting for a battleship to spawn to get that tech, and it never happened. But that's neither here nor there. Some things I really like about this game, some things I really hate. If I were to have rated this game last week, before I'd gotten into the home stretch, I would have given this a 9 out of 10. But the last week really put a downer on the game, and it sort of had to push through to get to the end. But we'll start with what I don't like, to get that out of the way first.
Hello.
A couple things are key. In this game, you can't fire at a wall. You can't, the terrain is destructible to a point. The only thing you can attack, you can only fire your weapons if there's an alien in sight. So you can't strategically fire your laser through the wall to create a door. You can't, fire through the ceiling, pop down behind an enemy. Everything is simply based on an enemy. You have an X% chance to hit that enemy, and it's not the cone of fire percent the way the original XCOM worked, whereas even if you only had a 43% chance to hit something, if you were 2 squares away, that 43% chance would always be within the cone of that enemy. Alright, so that's that. And the other thing is, I hate the alien spawn mechanics in this game. I truly hate them. In the original, you shot down a UFO, and all the aliens were on the map, and then as soon as you start moving, they're moving around too. They're doing things, looking for you. Some of them are guarding the ship, and after a certain amount of time, 20 turns in the original game, they would come after you. They would all of a sudden know where you were and just come towards you. And what that did is that pretty much made you spread your guys out. You wanted to get around the entire map. You wanted to cover. You get out your Sky Ranger. If you're in the corner, you're like, oh, thank God. If you're in the middle of the map, you're screwed, because you got to send guys out in all 6 directions, hoping that no one sneaks up on you. In this game, the aliens spawn in front of you. It's the only place they spawn. It's the only place they'll ever spawn, unless they do something wonky, and the wonkiness is when I started to realize how this works.
Alien life on Earth.
So,
we're witnessing something never before
what
seen
happens
in
here
recorded history.
Is we have these aliens spawning. We got these two to generate, basically. And that's what I mean. They only spawn in front of you. Until you have triggered their generation, they don't exist in the game. Does that make sense? I mean, they might have an area where they're going to spawn that you have to get close, but they're not moving around. What that means is the way you play this game is to move forward in small increments and just hope that you don't leave anything open. I hope you don't go too far, because if you go too far, you spawn too many aliens. So in this game, you're not really going around and looking for aliens so much. In this one, you're limiting the speed at which aliens will spawn on you. That's fundamentally flawed to me. That's sort of like, was it Jagged Alliance? I forgot which game it was. But someone did something kind of similar. But there, every spawn was static. So it was effectively knowing there's like no fog of war in that one. I think that's what it was. It's been a while. And what this does is leads to a couple things. Number one, there are in the council missions, which are basically your objective-driven missions. Everything there is absolutely 100% static. Where the aliens spawn, when they spawn, on what triggers they'll spawn on. I find those things to be the most boring and just annoying missions in the game. I don't enjoy them at all. The final mission is basically a council mission. And what this also leads to, it also leads to horrible line of sight issues. I'm sorry, it leads to aliens that basically spawn behind you sometimes. You could be moving forward, get close to a UFO, and then out of nowhere, there will be 3 floaters literally just appear in the middle of your party.
Miss the target.
And then hopefully you do that on your first turn, your first character move, so you're not all of a sudden flanked. And then the thing, there are a number of line of sight issues that happen in this game that I really think is a side effect of the Unreal Engine more than anything else.
While certainly effective at killing aliens, they also
minor
destroy
things,
the artifacts
you know,
we're
the
hoping to
levels
recover from the bodies.
aren't randomly generated, but it's not that big of a deal. On your first playthrough, you're not going to notice it that much because there are usually more than enough to cover your entire game without seeing reviews. Just, you know, a lot of set pieces. But when you start, if you start a couple times, you know, I did classic Iron Man, and it took me 2 times before I was really understood how this, how to tactically work my soldiers into it. And then I saw a couple of repeats within those retries. But beyond that, I know that when I go through the game again, the alien base is going to be exactly the same. The final mission is going to be exactly the same. So that's kind of depressing. You know, get to the final mission and just quit because you already know what's going to happen and how to beat it. A lot of things I do like about this game, though. I love the live alien capture mechanic, and I love how useful capturing live aliens is. Every alien gives you a benefit in some way. You know, whether it's progressing the story or giving you research credits, which basically speed your research up. At least it gives you something. You'll find out as you play that scientists and labs are basically useless. You get to a point in the game where you research everything in one day.
What was that sound?
And then, but the actual capture mechanics of capturing live aliens is great. You need to get their HP down. You know, when you first start off, you want to get it under 3 HP, and then as you go, you can upgrade that. And then you have the actual... Can I hit you? Yeah. And then you have to get in there real close with one of your guys, and, you know, it's just a lot of fun to play around with that. And on that note, I also really like how all the research is alien-based in this game. You know, in the first XCOM, it was really only unlocking the PSI abilities that did it, but in this one, everything, as I said earlier, everything is useful for research, and that's great.
Good work out there,
I actually also like the limited squad
Teams are
size
standing
a
by
lot.
for your orders. We can begin researching the
Kind of,
newly
sort of.
recovered artifacts
You know, if
immediately.
I go ahead and say, all right, the maps aren't fully technical, or they're not fully destructible. I can't control. I don't have full control of my characters. They have special roles, but as I level them, they become super powerful soldiers. It's kind of scary.
Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander.
I like being
I'm
limited
Central
in that
Officer
aspect.
Bradford.
If I
My
could
role
go
in this
back, what I
project is
have
twofold.
loved,
Providing tactical support for our field
this technology,
operations, and
this
keeping you
game,
briefed
even
on the
this
current
cover
situation.
system, using
My
time
efforts should
units,
allow you to focus on the bigger
and
issues
soldiers
at
I
hand.
can equip however I
Speaking of
want,
which,
yes.
we have a soldier waiting
But
for a
be
promotion
it as
in
it is,
barracks.
I think
I'll let
the
you get
only
to
way
it.
to make this game challenging at all was to limit your squads, 4 at the beginning and 6 as you go on. Now that gets us into the next thing, and
Our snipers specialize in
I
dealing
love the
massive
challenge
amounts
of
of damage
the
from
early
afar.
game.
But without sufficient
The
training,
early game in
they're
this is
vulnerable
great.
in
The
close
first
combat
2 to 3 months
situations.
is
The heavy
fantastic,
weapons
because
specialist
here it
provides a
really
crucial
is
service to the squad.
it's a game
With the
of
rocket launcher in tow, There are demolitions.
Researching ASAP,
The assault class
so
serves
you
as
can
our
actually
front
take a
line.
few hits,
They're the first
getting
ones into a
satellites up
fight,
so you don't lose
the
countries,
last
and then
ones
you're
out.
juggling
The recovered
terror
artifacts are
mission
being
abductions to
unloaded,
keep
and the
everyone
research team is
happy with
waiting
you.
your orders.
That's
We'll get
fantastic.
started as soon
It
as
really
you give
is.
the order, Commander.
First 3 months, or even your first 2 months, is the hardest part of the game.
Commander
Keep
to
all
the
your
research labs.
soldiers
Commander
alive
to the research labs.
long enough so that you're basically till you have a sniper with squad sight. Is really what it boils down to. And then beyond that, after that 3rd month, it's when the game really starts to drag on for me. Yeah, you're still trying to capture an alien here or there, and that's what keeps it going. But once you have a couple really well-leveled soldiers, once you have 2 snipers with squad sight, the game is pretty much
Commander to the
caged.
research labs.
You know, you're just
Commander to
incrementally
the
moving
research
forward,
labs.
spawning as few aliens as possible and killing them all within 1 turn, then rinse and repeat every mission, every UFO, for the rest of the game. So, that's where I'm going to leave it, actually. It's a good game. It's not a great game. If you're an XCOM fan, you've probably already played this. You know, you'll probably enjoy it. If you could play through Apocalypse and see it for what it is, you can
Commander
definitely
to the
play through this
research
one. This one
labs.
is much
Commander
more
to the
true to the
research
lore of
labs.
XCOM. This one has a much better feel in terms of actual end of the world
Hello,
in the beginning.
Commander. My name is Dr. Farlan.
But it
I
is
oversee
not
the research
original.
labs. This is
It
where
is
all of
a
XCOM's
true
research
XCOM
and
sequel, but
development
it
takes
is
place.
not
We have already begun
originally
analyzing the
featured, and
artifacts
that's probably what we're
recovered
gonna
from
be
our
looking for
first encounter
in
with the
announcement that
aliens.
comes out in
Based on our
forever.
preliminary findings, we believe we can
So
use
I
them to develop
recommend
some new
you
equipment for
get
our
the game.
soldiers.
Maybe when it's a bit cheaper.
With your
It's a lot
approval,
of fun.
we will begin
It kept me
research
occupied for those
immediately.
40 hours, no doubt. Last month, as I said, were a drag, or, you know. But there's a lot to do. Could I replay this game? You know, I might try one. Maybe I'll do an
Commander.
impossible game.
I realize our troops have to put their...
But beyond that,
Commander,
there's nothing
I
new
was
to this
wondering
game.
when you'd be stopping by.
It's very
Welcome to
limiting in
engineering.
what you can do.
Anything they can dream
Go
up in the
through and maybe
research
try to
labs,
level up your
we can
guys
build it
different,
here.
make an assault pistol
Speaking
sniper
of which,
or a
Dr.
critical
Valen
hit.
has just sent us some new schematics.
Critical hit
With your
assault,
approval,
you know,
we
something
will
like
begin
that, but beyond that,
fabrication.
I don't think there is enough tactical depth in this game to really give me multiple playthroughs. So I hope this really breaks it down for those who have played the original and enjoyed it very much, and were wondering what someone's take on it who has actually gone through the entire game on a sufficient difficulty in Iron Man. So, have at it.
Commander
Play your
to mission
games,
control.
enjoy your games,
Commander
love
to
your games.